Now she's built confidence. She had a fantastic relay on Sunday, the fastest time in her leg.
Now is Vilikina going to be the best of the Russians today? She's the best in the rankings at 3rd, and Russia at the moment 3rd, 14th, 18th, 21st. It's okay, but I think Wolfgang Pichler would have been hoping that he'd have at least 3 in the top 15 at this stage.
The aspect that's missing, isn't it, from the Russians? They've got the good shooting. That's achieved. It's in place. But they are some distance, some pace off the racing. And that's got to be a worrying factor. You can hear it, Yurlova just giving everything on these climbs. That's how much out of breath. She must be borderline on maximum at the top of this one. You can afford to go over the top because you get these quick recoveries.
Well, good work rate from Urlova all the way around this first loop. And she'll be approaching the range fairly shortly, just 2.5 kilometers each lap before the shooting. Now, Miriam Gusner, who's shown signs that she will be a challenger, not perhaps for the overall. I don't think she's consistent enough with that, but certainly she's capable of winning races this year. 3 times she's finished in 2nd place. She's yet to win a World Cup, but she did win the Junior World Championship pursuit back in 2001, so she comes from a sort of a successful pedigree.
Oh, she has, and interestingly, Uschi Diesel, the great name, of former German biathlon, she's saying, well, Gusner thinks too much about her shooting. She needs to just get a psychologist to help her.
Well, here's someone who could probably help her. Tora Berger underway, wearing both the yellow and the red bib. Both come with bonuses for the day, financial benefits, and it's not so often you see the same person starting with both. It means she's the leader of the overall World Cup and the leader of the Sprint World Cup, and that's because she's had a 1st and a 2nd.
Just about to say, this wind now coming stronger from her right. I was surprised she hadn't made that adjustment.
Yeah, it's a complete switch around from yesterday. Yesterday blowing left to right. Today it's right to left. And it's stronger than it was when they were zeroing their weapons before the start. So we could see quite a few of the athletes making adjustments. Would you ever make the adjustment before you start the race?
Unless your coach has given you some very good information. No, I think you've got to come in and read the flags yourself to get the feel, your feel, and what your experience has given you.
A quick start from Kaisa Mäkäräinen, and she's looking lean and mean, I think it's fair to say. She would love to get that first win for the season. Magdalena Gwizdon for Poland. Poland, we promoted their success so far this year before the relay. They came in 6th position, Mike, but they were only 2 minutes outside the winning team. So I think we could still see the Poles on the podium in a relay at some stage this season. Yes,
it's a team that's growing in stature, and Agnieszka Chil, bib number 7, she's out after the first shooting in 1st place. She was saying before this, in fact yesterday, that she absolutely loves this venue. Although it's 20-kilometer drive up the hill and they had problems this morning getting up to the venue, she thinks Bled and the lovely village around the lake there is just the best.
Well, it sounds suspiciously like yourself, this eternal positivity. Even if she doesn't believe it, if she can make herself feel that it's the track that suits her, we'll get a good performance from her.
She was saying she missed not coming here last year when they had lack of snow and they had to take it to, well, 2 of the World Cups to Hochwilson.
Now the wind has just eased a little, which might suit Elise Ringen. And on the range at the moment for France, we have Marine Boyer.
Ringen, remember, was part of the relay team at the World Championships. They might have expected a gold then, but they had to settle for 3rd.
Yeah, she didn't make the relay last weekend, and she's got a problem.
Even though there's a snow cover on that rear sight, in very, very fine snow like this, it still works its way into the sight, which is 1 millimeter wide. Anna-Karin in 11.4 ahead of Sokolova, who's second fastest into the range.
Yeah, Anna-Karin started a minute behind Elise Ringen, and she's got to within 30 seconds of her as she prepares for her first shoot of the day.
I was just about to say, Patrick, it must be in the back of Anna-Karinen's mind the fact that she did a penalty loop in the prone shooting in the relay on Sunday, and I think there was just a lack of confidence for that last shot going wide.
That could prove very expensive indeed. Gabriela Sokolova.
Sokolova at the end of the rifle barrel, she's added 100 grams weight there, and it certainly worked. That was slow but very, very accurate.
Well, the range officials are going to be busy today. Keep the snow off the mat, so there's a nice amount of traction when they come in for the standing shoot. Anastasia Kuzmina, and she hasn't had a huge amount of success so far this year, but her time will come. It may well be today. Lying 11th in the World Cup standings, every result's been in the top 20, so she's consistent, Mike, but she's been between 15 and 20. I feel she's just one good shot away from a top 3.
It really is as simple as that, isn't it? Just getting the targets for Kuzmina is the difference between a 9th and winning the race. Well,
Sokolova's time is safe now with that missed shot, otherwise Bedrushna would have been moving into the lead for Ukraine.
I can tell you, Susan Dunkley, the American, has come in with the second fastest time into the range.
Are you surprised by that? 5th in the World Championship individual, Dunkley, so she showed us what she can do in Ruhpolding last year.
Yes, certainly she's got the pace, and she's proved, as you say, that's sort of just coming in, I think.
Yeah, wearing 20, second along.
Biathlon.
So many missing shot number 5.
Well, you predicted that one. I love the way that Biathlon was taking a big lungful of air in between. Rostoshev, it's got to be unimpressed with that. He's taught them to keep the focus through to the 5th shot.
Well, there are lots of explanations, lots of reasons. Sometimes might possibly, well, I think the most likely reason is that you're eager to get away, so the focus isn't quite the same. There's the question of disbelief. I've hit 4, surely I'm not going to get all 5. Would you account, I know the alignment changes as you move through the targets, and by the time you get to number 5 you're forcing your position a little bit, but how about the factor that the rifle barrel is getting warmer as you go through?
No, not a factor, really not a factor. The barrel does heat up if you do, I've done it myself, 100 very fast shots, the barrel does heat up eventually, but not in 5 shots. It's looking better for Gusner.
Good. Just the sort of start that she needed. Now, Tora Berger with a chance. She's going to have to shoot very quickly to overtake Miriam Gusner, but she won't be thinking about that at this stage.
It's a big deficit into the range, Patrick. She's 19.3 down. As you say, she shoots so fast, she'll pick up some time.
Well, she's now going to be 40 seconds behind at least. We're looking at a time of around 8:15 for Tora Berger by the time she's completed the penalty loop.
Well, Susan Dunkley, we saw her alongside one of the Russians. She's out in second place after the first shoot, 11 seconds behind Gusner.
Alova, with that perfect shoot to start with, has given herself a good chance. She's a minute and 10 inside Oberhofer at the moment. The shoot will take roughly 30 seconds, and so provided she hits all 5, it will be a comfortable lead to the Russian after her second shoot. But yesterday's men's race was won on the last lap. It wasn't won in the shooting range, it was won on the last lap. And so I think all these women need to bear that in mind and save something for the last 2.5 kilometres. Well, 9 out of 10 is good enough. It's pretty much what she's done all season long. Remember, she finished on the podium with 9 out of 10 in Östersund, and she'll think she has a chance of doing the same again.
Wisdom, 7th fastest into the range, still well in contention, 12 seconds behind Gusner. That was good. That must build and give the confidence to Gwisdon.
Still a margin of, what, 11, 12, maybe 13 seconds. 13.6 for Gwisdon. Well, that's some excellent shooting, and Hildebrand joins Karin Oberhofer of Italy as the only two to have shot the perfect score so far, but she's well inside Oberhofer's time. In fact, Chill of Poland just going out, and that, of course, is with 1 miss. So Chill is skiing fantastically well, but now finds herself pushed down into second position. 23 seconds the margin. Good start from Hildebrand. Sulendal does the same as Tora Berger. In fact, she does even worse.
Just wasn't there today for Solomdal. The perfect race, what was it, last Saturday in the pursuit in Hochfilzen.
Incidentally, those of you following Tora Berger's fortunes, I can tell you that she's in 18th position at the moment after the first shoot. Kaisa Mäkäräinen, the fastest of those to have missed a shot. And actually, Mäkäräinen skiing